Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Saturday. We got ourselves. It's funny because we both have clear glass cups, but I have iced coffee and you have hot coffee this morning. Definitely extra.
Sure, I wouldn't be doing this week.
Extra.
The last second was bugging me.
Hair.
I need a haircut. That's the real problem.
Does anybody local have a favorite hairstylist? You haven't been to yours in a long time.
I have.
I'm always up for new recommendations.
Yeah, well,
especially local.
I went to Vicky last time and I was really happy.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I just haven't. That's been.
Yeah. See, I've had.
I'm like a once a year haircutting kind of gal. I just never get to it.
Yeah. See, I'm.
Good morning, Elizabeth.
I have a gal in Everett that I've went to for many years, through all of my pregnancies, and even before, and I really like her. I'd love to find someone local, but I've had so many bad haircuts. You know how it goes. Once you find a stylist you love, it's hard to leave them. So I'm like, I need a lot of good recommendations before I'll be ready to trust someone. But yeah, so here we are, Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm. Early.
Yes.
And
notice.
Fairly close to being on time to what we said.
Did we say we were going to go early? Because I was like, oh, shoot, did we not tell them?
We did last week, I think.
Oh, okay.
I thought the Sunlight Salon here in town. Where's that one at?
Yeah.
Is that the one over by Hookline? Is that what that's called?
They can cut curly hair. They can cut anybody's. By Hookline. There's a salon by Hookline?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Kinda. I think.
All I can picture is Mark's, which is not open.
Somebody went there for nails.
Wait, where's Hookline?
Hookline is Melissa's old stand.
Oh.
Behind us as we. Yes. See, I'm
when
right.
she said Hookline, for you locals, you'll think this is funny. I heard Spartree. It's almost the same.
Pretty much.
Coffee stand bar. They're both dealing with addicts. So if you don't know who we are, you just got a really good picture of it. We are the Rustic Girls. My name is Katie, and this is my mom and business owner, co-business owner. I don't know, it was weird. Patty. We co-own Rustic Redemption here in Granite Falls, Washington, which is a gift, home decor, antique shop. Just something really special we've built here. And we're also getting ready to launch the Barn Loft, just an online community for women. So if you're not local, it's a great way to learn new techniques and tutorials and some of the wisdom we've gleaned through our years of creating beautiful homes and growing. And so yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. This morning though, we were talking about what our topic was going to be, and where did I put my phone? Because I've got notes here on this because it's official. Come on, baby. You can go play for now. Oh, you want me to help you brush it? I'll do it after I'm done here, okay? She's got her hairbrush, her detangler from Grandma Elizabeth, and a hair bow. What? Because it'll be outside. Okay, Mom, let's go to work. So we're talking about what is one thing that you live with that will change your life. I'm talking like little. It's got to be big. This is big life change. And we're curious if anyone has any guesses on what that might be, because there's a lot of things, potentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and there's some, yeah.
So, I looked up some stats on this without revealing what it is. Give you all time to think and guess. Living with this, on average, people who live with this on average give 20% more time and money.
Coffee.
Yes, there's that.
You give time and money to the coffee stand.
It's true. For every 10 years you live with this,
it does change your life.
for every 10 years you live, this increases by 5%. Living with this will make you have a stronger bond with your local community.
Wow.
Living with this means you will have 10% fewer stress-related illnesses be more physically fit, have blood pressure that is lower by 12%. Let's see. If you are a teenager living with this, you are 10 times less likely to start smoking.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Let's see. Living with this increases optimism, which studies show enhances the cell-mediated immune system, which is the way our bodies fight viruses and bacteria. Living with this improves resiliency to stress and makes you more likely to offer support to others.
Read that one again.
Living with this improves your resiliency to stress and makes you more likely to offer support to others.
Ooh.
And lastly, living with this improves relationships. It makes you friendlier, more social, and more helpful to others. Ooh. Look at myself. And those are official Pinterest stat figures. So, take what you want with those. But
What could that...
I have no idea what the sources are for all
There's
the stats.
a man out here smoking a cigarette in
a
his
bathrobe.
bathrobe, walking across the street.
Small town
I
living.
love our town.
There are so many interesting people.
Oh my gosh.
So does anyone have any guesses before we dive into? I'd love to hear if you have
Well,
a guess.
I think coffee was a pretty good
The
guess.
coffee was
and
a
it's
fantastic guess.
life-changing.
It is, and it makes you friendlier.
It does.
Improves your relationships. So, if you haven't guessed, it's gratitude, which is pretty fitting for this month. That's why last night we were talking about just how gratitude can change your life, the importance of living with a grateful heart. Family, yes.
Ooh.
But see, being grateful for all those things is next level. But yes, so
Yeah.
it can really, it changes your outlook in life. I mean, they talk about like the people who, this cup is half empty, and I'm angry that my cup wasn't bigger this morning because I wanted a bigger holiday cup.
I wasn't angry, but
You weren't angry.
I was really regretting passing up that really cute
Big holiday mug at
holiday
Hobby
mug
Lobby.
at Hobby Lobby.
That's where we got our Christmas trees.
Because, again, all my cute favorites are packed away, buried in a storage unit somewhere.
Lost forever.
I'm
at
not
least
even
until we
sure
go.
how this one stayed out or why. Probably because it's little.
But looking at the mug, it's like you can either look at it as this is not what I wanted, but whatever, I'll use it. Or you can look at me grateful, I have the mug. And I have coffee to put in it. And I have delicious creamer to put in my coffee so it doesn't taste horrible. And that completely changes your perspective. You went from being annoyed that you didn't have what you wanted to grateful that you had something. And that will change your outlook. And then, hey, look, I'm not irritated leaving my house in the morning. So I'm going to be a happier person through the day. So I think
We've all seen that commercial of like that one action and how it
snowballs
and changes, affects you, pass it on, and it affects everybody.
Yeah.
And that's it. There is that spillover to the people around you. It's contagious being around. Think of different people in my life through the years that
They're
are
just
just
always
always
grateful.
optimistic. Always there's nothing
positive.
It's always that. I don't want to say a positive spin on it, but it's just that's what they
They're
choose
choosing
to
look
look
at it with a
at.
grateful heart. Yes, and that's when you took it. I mean, a lot of these statistics, some of them were for your own physical health, but there's a lot that talk about being able to support others and being grateful for having more relationships, donating more.
Good morning, Julie.
So I think that, you see the spillover, like when and it's true if you're going to be negative, nasty. I mean, you've ever had someone who's just negative. Every time you talk to them, it's about how their life is falling apart and how, somebody's ripping them off and they've got this going on with them medically and they're just complain. And it's just kind of like, by the time you're done talking to them, in fact, it gets to the point, if they're that negative, that just their energy, like when they walk in a room, it just sucks the life out of it. Versus somebody like, I think, if you haven't had the opportunity to know someone who's walked through a serious medical illness with a grateful heart, then you are missing out because it's such a powerful opportunity to learn. But we knew someone who she had polio as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to walk with a cane, special shoes. She lived with pain her entire life. And there were times it was so crippling she couldn't get out of bed. But most days she sucked it up and she came and did her job. And yes, vacuum people, cup dumpers. I love that, Melanie. Yes, and so she was just and she was always so grateful. She was grateful to be there. She was grateful to have a job. She was grateful that, God sustained her.
There was always somebody that was worse off than she was.
There was always somebody worse off. And it was like being around her was just joy and refreshment. Mm-hmm. And so I think that, our goal should not be to not be vacuum people.
Yeah.
Sucking the life out of the room. We should be filling it up. And I think that
and I think we all have those days when we're just, but being conscious, because a lot of times it takes a conscious decision to just choose that that's the way I'm feeling right now. But it gets you out of that funk too, when you just decide, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to gripe or,
I'm going to find something,
Yeah. And it starts changing and then you start seeing the situation differently. So sometimes you gotta pull yourself up by your own bootstraps.
That's right. Pick yourself up. Rustic girls pick themselves up. Yeah. And I think that, it's important with that. I mean, some of the best ways, because it's a conscious decision, I think most people don't just naturally wake up being really grateful, every day. I think about my kids, and my daughter was whining last night, and she's been doing a lot of that lately. And my husband, opposite of a vacuum, leaf blower. Yes, Julie, we all need to be leaf blowers. Yes, I love that. Be a leaf blower. I might have to make that like a quote thing that we post. Don't be a vacuum. Be a leaf blower. But she was whining. My husband goes, where did she learn this? Like, why are you acting this? Well, why are you doing this? And I was like, it's their sinner's heart. Am I going to witness? And we are all naturally just selfish people. Like, it just doesn't come naturally to not put yourself first. And in some ways, that's important for survival. But how often do we carry it too far?
Yeah.
And so I think that it's really important to be conscious about and intentional about building that attitude and that habit of gratitude. And there's tons of ways to do it. Do you guys, when you're living with gratitude, do you have something that you use as like your thing? I mean, a lot of people do different things. They have journals, and they have around the holidays, especially, people do like leaves and they write their thankfulness, or the corn kernels at popcorn kernels, right? Mm-hmm. At Thanksgiving, everyone picks one up and says something they're thankful for. And there's a lot of really great ones like Thanksgiving, the month of Thanksgiving. How many people do the Day of Gratitude every day?
On Facebook, yeah.
So I mean, what are some ideas for prayer? Yes, amen, Melanie. Yes, prayer is a great way to just be intentionally grateful in your prayers. Even that kind of requires focus, like being intentional, because otherwise it's easy to be like, hey God, my genie in a bottle, let me rub my lamp. This is what I need right now.
Here's my wish list.
Here's my problems. Here's my wish list. Make it happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that's definitely an opportunity to pause and be grateful.
And it kind of sets the stage for outward gratitude when you have that inward gratitude.
Yes. Vocally thank God for what you're truly grateful. Yes. Mm-hmm. Nightly affirmations. Yes, exactly. Taking time to pause. Even things like, I mean, the tradition of praying before each meal and pausing to thank God. And I know growing up praying, it was like, I got to the point where it was just something you did and you didn't think a ton about it. And I think that hopefully as your relationship with the Lord grows, you'll grow beyond just praying at your mealtime. And but I think it still builds that habit, even with kids. Even when it comes just a habit and they're not like being truly heartfelt about it, it's building that habit of like, I'm going to pause and say thank you for what I have. and I think the heart will follow when you build that with your kids. But,
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think there's a ton of ways to do it. And I'm curious how you guys build. I love the nightly affirmations, taking that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I had for a while. I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrible at it. I got a daily journal, and it was I can't remember what it's called, 365 or something. Anyway, it had like basically a paragraph slot every day to make it easy to journal every day. And I started doing that every night. I would pause and I'd write something I'm grateful for. And so that was a really easy one. And then I started forgetting. So I think it's important, whatever you do, find that like it's something that's memorable, and having it in a place that will remind you. And maybe that's just having like, they talk about like the Israelites. They're
stones of remembrance.
They're stones of remembrance. So is there something in your home that you have, or that you could have, that's like, a jar filled with rocks, and every time you're grateful for, you put a rock in, just have that remembrance of like, this reminds me to be grateful. There's so many ideas out there.
Well, and
it's all about what's going to work
beyond
for you.
that too is building that into your kids. Hopefully, starting them off on that right track as they grow up, having that, being mindful of. I think sometimes kids teach us in their own little ways, the things that they come up with that are just, we see as just random things that we take for granted, and
I like to meditate at night. At least
they're thankful for.
Oh, I think I've seen that on Instagram, Julie. I think that's the same app where like it's like stop and just watch this for 15 seconds, and it's just like video of a rain or whatever, and it's really soothing. And I thought I want to download that because it's basically just taking those time to pause. May not actually be the same app though; it might be different, but I will have to check that out because I think it's just, and that's something I think with this whole, society as a whole is busy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't take that time like you're talking about every evening to pause and to be grateful. For you, it's meditating. For Melanie, it's praying, and it's like taking that time to set aside that I'm gonna just stop and appreciate what's going on around me. Stop and smell the roses.
Yeah.
You think about living with gratitude. It's appreciating everything around you. When you go outside and you breathe that fresh, crisp fall air, I'm grateful for it, man. I love it. So I think it's so important. Yes, it is that app. Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to try that one. It looks so good. Baby is moving a ton this morning, so it's like, I don't know, this one, man, it's like already, even as of like 3 or 4 weeks ago, pushing up on my diaphragm, so it's hard to breathe in the baby. I bought the 1 year, it's good. I will have to look into it. Yeah, I think that it's important to find that time and to pause, and to be intentional. I think find the time is the wrong word, because you'll never find the time. Make the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And it does. It's a snowball thing, because once you start, it's like you start
more and more
being more aware and more like what's around you. That's yeah.
Well, like my kids have a book, VeggieTales, the Goody Goody Glasses. If you know what VeggieTales are, it came out when I was a kid. A series of vegetables telling Bible stories and like good morals. And so we have this book, The Goody Goody Glasses, where he's kind of self-centered, and he just like does whatever he wants and doesn't really notice how it impacts others. And he gets these goody goody glasses, and he starts seeing the world differently, and he starts helping more people. And by the end, he realizes everyone needs goody goody glasses, and so he shares. I think it's the same concept with being grateful. Like once you start, it's like you're gonna start seeing more and more and more. So we need to prioritize that time. Yes, you do. It's so important. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. Yeah, and so I think that, and one thing I was going to touch on, I kind of jumped past what you're saying about building it with your kids, and talking about that, building that habit of being thankful. And it's like when we pray at dinner time, I encourage them, like, incorporate in there somewhere. I love VeggieTales. I still sing like half the songs on a regular basis from VeggieTales. But we encourage them to incorporate some of the food that we're actually partaking. But we also let them pray. A lot of times my kids are like, what do you want to pray for? Like, I don't tell them, pray for this. as soon as they get old enough to start thinking independently, it's like, well, what do you think we should pray for? And we've prayed and thanked God for unicorns. We regularly thank God for our two cousins, Abby and Joshua, that they love to do the slumber parties at Grandma's house. And whatever comes to their heart, for church, for Jesus, for God. They pray for all kinds of things, but it's allowing them, encouraging them to think about, even at that young age, to start thinking about, like, what things am I thankful for in life? Mm-hmm. My kids are thankful for things that don't even exist. So, they're doing something really right or really wrong. But yeah, that's just allowing yourself to pause and look around and be thankful for what you have.
You know what I'm thankful for? We got our lights up before the hardware store.
We did. I was gonna do. It's funny because I was gonna do a post about that today. I was gonna take a picture. Yeah, that was yesterday morning.
Night before last, we did our lights outside. Justin was outside late getting those all hung, and then my husband came back doing his fluffing.
Oh my gosh, guys, we were here till 2 a.m. It was insane. My dad was out here. He got off. He works later, so he got here later. At like 11 o'clock at night, midnight. He's out there like untwisting the icicle lights so they're all hanging beautiful. But we didn't have an extension cord. Yeah. So they were hanging there unlit. And then our friend Heidi texted us early.
Said, heads up, Danny's sending the guys out to hang the lights because he didn't want you to beat him.
He wanted to be first because we didn't have ours lit yet.
Yeah.
So I was like,
they're out there,
get up, get your pants on. Go to the hardware store, get a
we were worried they wouldn't sell us one.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I was going to get them up first, and I got here this morning, and you guys had them hanging. It's like, get out there and get those lights up.
So we're out there. We got, I'm leaning out our window because we had to run the extension cord up through our window because there's no outlets. And so I'm leaning out the window like we're throwing the extension cord down. They're like halfway across their building, and Justin plugs it in, and I plug it in. It lights up. Me and Mom both have the same. I'm up there. She's down here. Same reaction.
Yes.
Ha-ha, suckers. We won.
But even more than that, I'm thankful that, there's that camaraderie. And at least this section of the block here on both sides is all lit up. So
it's gorgeous.
Hopefully that will inspire other people to come out and get some more lights up. And so it was fun.
That was a lot of fun. I think I am grateful for the community we have. Just your building. And I think it's really cool because it's not the one I expected. I mean, I've lived here my whole life. Mm-hmm. Well, not my whole life, but most of my life that I like remember and care about. They're cracking me up. Thanks. I know. We're pretty cool over here. We get excited about like extension cords. I'm actually gonna let you guys know a secret. I was outside the window, but don't tell my husband. I'm up there on the roof, and he's like, "Can you get the cord closer to the house?" And I was like, "Sure, hang on." And I'm like climbing out the window very carefully, and like because my belly, I don't want to lose center of gravity, so I'm like kind of carefully against the wall, leaning down. And my mom's like, "Shh, he doesn't need to know." It's important we win. You got to prioritize personal safety and winning.
I mean, if somebody else had to go up there and go out, like if he had to,
it would have taken too long.
Yeah,
you got to win. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's and you find that when you start connecting in and being grateful. I mean, I think about this time of year and how many ways people are grateful for their community and for the people around them, and make a wish. And then you gotta blow it that way. My sister not taught me that. Melissa, I don't know if she'll watch. Huh. I don't know if she does, but she taught me that when the eyelash falls out, you make a wish and blow it away. Yeah, I mean, there's so much to be grateful for. I try to pause, not every night, but most nights as we're leaving the shop, and just pause and be grateful for the opportunities we've had here. And so it's building those habits. Like I said, the heart follows. Like once you start building those habits, it's like I'm gonna most nights when I close with Mom here, and I shut before I go out the door, I look back over our shop, and the lights are off. It's just light down the middle, but you can see everything. It looks so pretty, and just like pausing and having that moment of like I'm grateful for this. And there are nights I feel warm and fuzzy inside, and there are nights I'm just tired.
I'm so well.
And there are nights I skip it because I'm so tired.
I think, this year we are, especially not that many weeks ago, we were not, sad.
Yeah, it says that, and then it keeps liar. Facebook. We love you.
Pants on fire.
But you're a liar.
But that we are here. I mean, it was just a few weeks ago that we were like, so very grateful.
But yeah, I think it's just building those moments and those habits to pause and be grateful. Once you build a habit, it gets easier to do something.
Right.
They've shown time and time again. Once you get the habit going, then it's easier, which is why bad habits are so hard to kick. And so, like, building those little habits of, like, triggers.
Well, and it's nice that, I think Thanksgiving it's kind of that yearly reset, that the mindset of, because it's easy just to get so caught up in everything. And it's a good opportunity to just kind of remind you to stop, pause, count your blessings, things to be thankful, and kind of reset that attitude of
attitude of gratitude. Yes, and I think that I was gonna say that
not a very comfortable chair. I'm just saying.
I love that chair. This one's.
I
almost feel like I'm gonna break this one. It's just we have a couple like Snohomish High School band choir folding chairs. They're vintage, so they're actually holding me, but they're so like small that I feel like I'm gonna break them. But I was gonna say, if you've ever watched the show The Office, my husband's a big fan, and there's this episode where there's two main characters, Jim and Dwight, and they're kind of like weirdly friends, but Jim's always playing pranks on Dwight, and he basically read this thing about training people's brains, or I think it was training dogs to react to a certain noise. And so he decides he's going to train Dwight. And so every day, when he resets his computer multiple times a day and offers him a mint. And then,
I remember that.
Every day he like, ding, and so it goes, dun, and he goes, mint, Dwight? And he goes, sure. And he takes one and he does this, and then it like just progressively until it's just like mint, and they're not even thinking about it. And then Jim resets his computer one day and doesn't offer it, and Dwight's like this with his hand out, and Jim's like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know. Why is my breath all of a sudden like Pavlov, like dry and stinky? And I think of just that concept, though. It's so true. You train yourself. Like, these are the moments I'm going to pause every day and be grateful. And, like, that's going to eventually build that habit until you're not even thinking about it. It just becomes nature. And then you become one of those leaf blowers. You become a leaf blower by building that habit of just, like, these are the moments when I'm going to pause. These are going to be the triggers to trigger gratitude in my heart.
I really like that, the visual that brings to mind, because when you see those leaves, you think of leaves blowing, it's not like, it's just...
They go everywhere.
It's just, and it's like spilling over and kind of drifting into people's lives. And
I like it. I think you're picturing wind blowing leaves, though. Have you seen someone blow with a leaf blower?
It does, but I mean,
it's pretty powerful.
Well, I guess if you're standing right in front of it, but when it blasts it, and then it kind of...
So, if you're a leaf blower, if you have a leaf blower in your life, don't get too close, is what she's saying. They'll blast you in the face with their gratitude.
They'll blast you with gratitude.
Good times.
All right, well, that was my... I have a visual up here, so you just leave it alone.
I like my visual. I'm going to be grateful for my visual, no matter what you say. So, we have coming up in our shop.
Oh, my goodness.
This is actually just I think it's going live, or it already went live for the event, for Gnome Workshop. Going live today.
Oh, to be able to purchase?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I
don't have the event posted yet. I got it created.
That'll go up at some point today. So our Gnome Workshop was so much fun.
Mm-hmm. And we've had several people ask because they couldn't make it to the Tuesday one. Mm-hmm. And so we decided we're going to do another Gnome Workshop. We've got them sitting here in the shop, and people have come through and, I'm sorry I missed it. So,
look at this
super a lot of fun.
Isn't he cute? He's so different, too, from the other ones that you made from the last one. And I think what's fun is you had a lot of gals come in. I got to join in later and just kind of visit for a few minutes. That they all started with, you asked them the question, are you crafters? And they all went no. And then by the end, this one gal was like, we're crafters now. But each one, I mean, even like things like Elizabeth was here doing it. and most of them were tied right at the top, so that little nubbin puff ball, and then a couple bells. And Elizabeth didn't want to do that. She wanted to find a way to just attach the bell so it was loose in the end of the hat. And so I ran upstairs and got a sewing needle. But it's just, I think, showing that it's fun to see all these people that think, I'm not creative, I'm not crafty. But you really
everyone
are.
had their own spin on,
They have their own spin on how they're going to do their little cute
how
gnome.
to bring him to life.
And yeah, so I think that's the funnest part, is you get to see people kind of discover their creative side.
Which I think is a big part of why we wanted to start doing these. Is it's fun, and I think again it's one of those things that making that time, you know.
It's dangerous work. It is, so I heard. Some serious injuries. Gotta watch out for that hot glue.
Yeah. I gotta get a bigger low temp. Gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna be, and that's December 6th. Yes.
In the evening. 6:30 to 8:30, I think.
So yeah. So we'll be able to, if you come in today, we can
get you tickets today.
Yeah.
I actually already had 2 people. As soon as so last night I posted. Well, it was posted in the event, but I also posted on Instagram a sneak peek for our Bring in the Season event this weekend. We have our Sales and Surprises stocking. You can draw different tags out, like one that says, choose an item from the Christmas bin. And so I had done kind of a sneak peek of some of the prizes. There's some really cool ones in there, like a free Rustic Girl shirt, Rustic Redemption zipper, but one of them was one entry to the Gnome Workshop on 12/6. And that was the very first time we had mentioned that we were going to do another workshop. And I had somebody comment on that saying, reserve me in my mama seat. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that is one thing very true. There is one in there for so when we're drawing from that
this weekend only.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're opening, which is why we're here early this morning. We're opening at 9.
We had a lot of fun last night, kind of getting things rolling. It's our Ring in the Season.
Big kickoff.
So the shop is 99% completely flipped. We're still tucking and fluffing, and we don't have any ornaments on the trees yet. Tree ornaments will be coming in and being available here in the next few days.
Yeah, we have not had time to handcraft those things. I'm still talking, baby. Hang on. I will come to you when I'm ready.
Lots of fun new stuff in.
We're also doing the mistletoe. I'm going to do a post about that a little bit later, but we've got the mistletoe in the shop, and snap a selfie with your favorite snuggle buddy, and we've got an amazingly soft, fuzzy, can you say good morning? No. Soft, fuzzy, wonderful blankie. And so on December 17th, it's a Saturday. During our live, we'll draw a name. Someone will get to win the fuzzy blankie. So you'll snap a selfie and post it on either Facebook or Instagram and tag us. And I know, she's so sweet. Miss Grandma Elizabeth says, there's a cutie behind you. And so that's going to be fun, doing that fun little giveaway that'll be going on pretty much the whole holiday season. A lot of fun stuff. Cocoa bar, cookies in the back.
We've got Mama's Wish Lists out.
Mama's Wish List.
So you can come in or send somebody in, you know.
You can come in. I think that, and that's why we called it Mama's Wish List, is how many moms, their husbands don't know what to get them. And so you just have to tell them. And then it's not a surprise. And you're like, well, I don't want you just spending money on me just for the sake of spending money. And so this is the opportunity, you come in here and you make a list of the things in here that you would love to be given. And then you can send your loved ones in, and you put your name on it, and you keep it. And they can shop from that wish list. And so you can still be surprised while still telling them, this is the things I would like to have. These are things I would enjoy. But it's not limited to just mamas.
Right, yeah.
Anyone can come in and make one.
We had several dads come in last year.
Several dads. We've already had one certain young lady come in and make hers. Start hers. I'm sure she'll add.
Yeah, and you can always, if you make a list and you come back later and you're like, well, I didn't see this before, or this is new. You can just say, hey, can I get my list?
I wanna add this on.
So,
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Because that is the thing. Because we do have some unique one of a kind items, and they might go and you might see something new. So there's always that. So that's fun. We have that.
That's good stuff.
And That's running all weekend.
Next Saturday is Shop Mall Small Saturday. We've got some fun stuff planned that we will be announcing probably this weekend, Monday. And then also next Friday, when you're all done with your crazy Black Friday run around shopping, or maybe
and you're
you
home
choose not
just
to participate,
with your feet up on the couch.
Yep. We're going to do our live sale, and this one's going to be a good one. We've got a lot of our fall. We're going to do some really good deals on the fall decor that we have left. We've got some other fun stuff to tuck in. So it's going to be a lot of fun hanging out with us on your Friday evening.
And then Small Saturday.
I just talked about.
Yep, I know, but I had to throw it
I went
in
reverse order.
it said
I threw you off.
Yeah.
Oops.
Is there anything
I think
else?
that's everything, guys. I mean, there's a ton, but we don't want to bombard you. Like, this is the season for there ought to always be a ton going on.
But yeah, we've got. I know it's always a struggle because you don't want Thanksgiving to get lost, but we are full on Christmas here. We've got Christmas music. We're trying not to constantly assault you with all the. It's intermixed with like instrumental holiday music and jazz style, and so you're not like, assaulted with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer
all day long.
Did you know
Grandma Rustic gave you that detangle? That spray? Piece of ankle? No, we're gonna be shy. We're loving the detangler, Miss Grandma Elizabeth. It's been a real lifesaver. Although she didn't understand why I didn't magically make the tangles not hurt at all anymore. I sprayed her hair down, I still brushed, and she's like, it still hurts. But it hurts less, doesn't it? Yes. Yeah, that's what I thought.
If you haven't been in,
Just wait, baby.
and Kenya, you've done a post about that amazing new peppermint.
I know. I misplaced mine on my list this morning.
Lip balm, but Coco Jules brought in some
Really cute. I kind of want one of those gift packs with this cute little sparkly owl in it. She restocked some great stuff.
some fun new stuff for the
that
holidays.
rose water has been a lifesaver for my face.
Great little stocking stuffers, or put together a little basket.
And Josh restocked this Prince.
Yep.
He brought in this really cool. I really want it. He made a frame out of this reclaimed wood that's got like dings and knots and like burn marks, and he was like, it's all the wood, like it's just natural, like the life it's lived. So gorgeous. It's killing me. So yeah, lots of fun stuff, lots of new stuff. I've got a detangler bottle climbing my back currently. Someone who wants some help with their hair. So we should probably wrap it up because we're opening pretty quick.
Yep, we'll be opening a little early today, 9 o'clock, and we're open till 6 tonight. A little bit later hours for this weekend, yeah.
And then next week, Patty will have another ornament tutorial for you.
Yeah, so I think I might try to squeeze 2 in. I'm thinking I might do one either Monday or Tuesday, and then do another one like
giving me shivers.
Probably Wednesday. Because I did say I have to make up for, because I kind of left everybody hanging this last week.
Didn't do a ornament tutorial.
But I hope you saw our snowflake tutorial we did when we were working on our windows.
That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
So yeah. So I hope you guys have a beautiful Saturday wherever you are, and be kind to each other.
Bye.